Hi, my name is Rebecca Such, and I'm creating the short film titled Starting Over. The premise is a woman named Rachel has been in a long-term relationship and has spent so long focused on her partner's interests that she kind of doesn't realize she's lost sight of her own. And so when she catches him cheating, she has to start over and go on that uncomfortable journey of being alone and rediscovering who you are and what makes you feel really fulfilled. And the idea came to me pretty quickly because we had just done class introductions, and I'm really open about the fact that last year I personally had to do a hard reset of my life and basically wound up in the same spot where I was starting over and having to discover what really matters to me and what I need to do to feel good about myself on my own. And that's what led me here, and I've never felt happier in my life. So honestly, having that so close to home made pre-production easier because I already know how I want to affect people, what effect I want to give, and what emotions I want to evoke, and kind of where to go with it. And so it made it a little easier, and it was really exciting too. I love that part of production because it's so just creative and your mind's just whirring with all the possibilities. The only downside to that is I do one piece of pre-production, think it's good, do the next one, have this better idea, and have to adjust the last one, and then so on and so forth. So that was a bit hard to make time for, but it was great. On set was definitely more difficult for me. I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera or behind it when it comes to film. I've never filmed anything before, but it was definitely a learning experience. I mean, I had so many angles in my shot list that were low angles and realized very quickly that low angles do not work for me. It's not my plan, and so I had to readjust completely, even with a tripod that's a limited height and is too wide a base to put on anything else to increase that height. So I had to get comfortable with how things looked and adjust myself and everyone else and everything around me to try to make it work a little better. It definitely took some practice, but it was worth it. I learned a lot about that and about lighting. And I also had to learn that my 10-year-old camera doesn't connect the same way as others to a Mac, and even Full Sail couldn't help with that. So I had to figure it out a different way and then let Full Sail know how it works so they can help others in the future. I'm glad I figured that out, but I'm definitely pushing time-wise with this assignment because of it. So my number one advice to anyone is definitely give yourself extra time. But when it came to the set, it was stressful, but it was also really exciting. I mean, there's just so many little things that you put into it. I mean, I was thinking, okay, how can I progress her outfits? How do I want her hair to be? How do I want her friend to pick up the glass and set it back down? Like, all these little details. And one bigger one that I'm really proud of is early on, even during pre-production, I kept thinking about, I don't know if my friends will be comfortable having their face on camera. So I decided, you know what, maybe I'll just have Rachel be on camera and everyone else be kind of in the sides. And I wound up really liking that because the whole idea of this is her life has been about someone else for so long, and now it's about her. This is all about her. And so even when my wonderful friends were like, no, it's fine, you can use our faces, I was like, I'm not going to, because I kind of like this idea now. And they went with it, and it was a bit harder, but it turned out well, and I'm kind of excited about how it's going to look. I'm glad that I did all of this, but it was very difficult. But in the end of the day, I am now so much more well-rounded, and because I have a more basic idea of how the technical things go, I can focus on creative aspects more. And that is a relief, especially because as much as I don't want to be a filmmaker, I do plan to make content in the future as part of, marketing and getting my name out there and branding. And so I think this will be super helpful just to know all of this. Another piece of advice to everyone is practice, practice, practice. And I don't mean record a full thing and then re-record a full scene. I mean, practice a short tidbit, see how it looks on your camera, adjust, then see how everything's turning out on your laptop on a bigger screen and see if it's actually coming out the way you want, and then readjust, because I really needed to leave myself more time for that because I did not realize how much of a difference it would make. But overall, just give yourself time to make mistakes, give yourself some patience, and it'll be worth it at the end of the day, because even if you don't use it often, it can really, really help. I'm just a creative writer. I plan to do writing, but this was really, really helpful. So thank you, Taylor and Casey and Paul, for all acting, and Casey and Paul for lending me their house. This was wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it turns out.